let's go into this Frank Ocean leak. This is something we can play without
Yes.
getting
Big Frank. Oh, man.
people losing their shit.
I am
over
one of them.
A tiny slip.
I am one of
snippet.
them. I am one of them.
I don't think this man is back. I think he's.
Don't do that to us, Jeff. Don't
No.
do that to us. Don't do
That's
that to
not
us.
what I do. You need to talk to him.
Don't do that to us, Jeff.
That's him.
Don't do it to
You
us.
need to talk to him. Your guy.
Let us have this.
Is fucking with y'all.
Let us have this. Let us have it.
He's fucking with us.
Let us have it.
Play way more laid back than I did when I was my younger self. You were vague to me by assumptions, but they were educated guesses. That's why I keep spinning your block, trying to see all your sides. And your heart's been tangled in barbed wires. You can hand it to me, I can handle it. If I hide all with you and don't face it, then it'll come back round and it'll affect your respect for me. Oh yeah, got boundaries.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes. This is what we need. This is music.
Jeff, you need to relax.
This is vibes.
I'm about to crack your muffin. You need to relax. This is Frank Ocean talking. All right?
He's never gonna release it.
Stop it. Stop doing
He's
it.
never. I want this.
Listen.
I really want to listen to this.
Listen. Let us have it. My guy, listen. He has released the music in a long last album. I've been listening to Frank again. Frank's one of my favorite artists of all time, period. First off. I'm a huge Frank Ocean fan.
Frank's shit is such
Incredible.
a vibe.
Incredible.
Such a vibe.
An incredible master of music. First off, let that be clear.
100%.
So, Blonde, iconic, came out. Blonde and Endless. People forget about Endless. The visual album came out in 2016. Since then, he's released loose singles, like one or two every 2 years, 1 year to 2 years. Very little music, very, like trickling. Okay. What I heard is that since his brother died, I forget when his brother died,
yeah.
but a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He was not really he was always already not someone who just makes music every year and all the time. But since that happened, it was sort of debatable as to whether he was ever going to create music again. I'm such a fan of the man. He's done so much that I was like,
it's good.
It's all right.
It's all right.
We weren't even mad at it. We were like, all right, cool.
He didn't have to do the Coachella thing. He should have just...
It's fine.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
But
oh,
if you're telling me
if you give us this,
that we're going to get new Frank,
oh my God.
yo, dog, don't call me. When it drops, don't at me. I'm not coming. When Frank drops, cancel all appointments. Don't invite me to anything. I'm not coming.
I'm the kind of motherfucker that will buy all the merch.
I'm buying, 100%.
I have the vinyl here. I bought that like 3 years before, and it came 3 years later or some shit. I will gladly wait.
This brings up an interesting conversation. See, I hate the Duncan's not here because I know he would have some weird things. But
we can talk to him next time.
I want to agree with you. I want to ask you about this.
Yeah.
So Frank drops this, right?
Yeah.
There was talk of Lloyd Banks. Shout out to Lloyd Banks.
Mm-hmm.
He announced that he was going to release his new album, but he was going to do direct to consumer. So he was going to release it for $100.
Yeah. I'm conflicted about that.
For $100. So you buy directly from the artist from $100. That's what Lloyd Banks was going to do. Nipsey also did something similar.
Yeah.
Okay. My scenario. Frank Ocean drops. He says, yo.
I'm buying it.
I'm
buying it. It doesn't matter.
Same.
If he's going to, like, it's certain artists that are actually artists that are actually making art.
I'd pay it in a heartbeat.
Doesn't matter.
I wouldn't even think about it.
It doesn't, like.
I wouldn't even
500? I'll make it work.
I'll figure it out.
1,000? I'll make it work.
Out. For Frank Ocean?
Yeah.
Dog, Frank Ocean for the first time in 8 years?
I'll figure it out.
Send me the link.
I'll figure it out.
I don't care. I would pay it in a minute. I hope he does something like that. Because he does stuff. He does like alternative, like different things.
To me,
I hope he does something dope.
To me, this
is
a greater conversation to have maybe next time with Dunk as well here. But this ties into, I think a lot of these artists, like a Drake, doesn't have to go on Spotify. He could sell his albums for 50, 10, 100 euros a piece, and people would still buy it.
I think that's absolutely true. I think it depends though. Not everybody.
Not everybody.
But it's also not about size. I think it's about the dedication of your fan base. You would have to have like that. Like Frank Ocean has a cult.
Yeah.
And I know because I'm in it.
Yeah.
So I know that he has that cult.
It's different.
I'm one of them, right? So yeah, I know.
It's different.
Someone like a Kid Cudi would also be someone like that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, people have J. Cole 100%. J. Cole
100.
could easily do something like that. Same thing.
I'm very surprised, and I assume in some people's contracts to a degree or something, but I'm very surprised that not more of these.
Oh
artists
no,
are doing that.
they can't. They can't. Is
They
the
ca-
reason.
they
We
probably
know that
can't,
they
yeah.
cannot. They're not
Yeah.
allowed to do that. But if they're independent, like Lloyd Banks is, then you can
Yeah.
do stuff like that. No, but
if
Frank,
if
man,
he does that, if he puts it online for 1,000, I'm not rich like that, but I'll make it work.
I figure out a way. Seriously, I'll buy it.
I will figure out a way.
In a way, in a weird way, I think that it makes it even more special
Yes.
because it's not accessible to everyone. Of course, people
You
can
know-
go
you know-
download it and stuff.
You
but
know what
still.
will happen? I would maybe download or buy it or something like that, and then I'll invite a bunch of friends over, and we'll just hang out and listen to that shit together. Talk about that
That's
shit.
what we did with Blonde. I remember when I was in college, we did that with Blonde. We put that on,
Yes.
and everyone was just hanging out, having a kickback with Blonde, and
And
niggas
then-
was getting deep, man. Niggas was getting emotional.
And talking about shit.
It was powerful. That's
Yeah,
still one of
yeah.
that's still one of my all-time favorite albums. Seriously, that album was incredible.
Yeah.
People
I-
slept on that.
I like the idea. The reason with Lloyd Banks why I was a little bit skeptical about that, it depends on how what your fan base is and for how much you sell it. So with a Frank Ocean, for me, I would be cool with 1,000 because I would still make it at work. For Lloyd Banks, I would want it to be a 10, 50 euros, and then I would be interested in looking into it because I like Lloyd Banks as well. But not for everybody. So I don't think it's smart for everybody to suddenly start selling their albums for 50, whatever.
A few people can pull that off.
Yeah. But it's an interesting discussion to have, like when, how, definitely when you're independent, but for which level? Do you need to have like, what level of fan base do you need to have? Does it need to be international or is it okay, local, and then you do a certain price?
It's
But
the
yeah.
local people that do this stuff more, and it
Yeah.
does work because they don't have big fan bases, but they have very dedicated fan bases.
Yeah.
They're like smaller artists, and people are hardcore fans of them. If they're yeah. Griselda was doing shit like this
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Benny and them, they were doing that shit too. That's
But-
another one I don't want to go into because we already did enough
Mhm.
music. But the West Side Gun album, and then They Pray for Me, brilliant,
Yes.
really good album.
Yes.
Just put it out there.
They
West Side
dropped a
Gun.
bunch of albums in the last couple of weeks as well. I didn't put them on the list, but I forgot.
Well, they dropped. And
think
then
there
They
were
Pray
two.
for Me, West Side Gun. Well, Benny dropped a song with Lil Wayne, Big Dog.
I listened to that shit.
That's fire.
Them Griselda motherfuckers.
They're gone.
Woo!
They're gone.
Artists.
They're doing it. Yeah.
They know that they're making music. Say they put effort. They put time and effort in that shit.
Yeah,
There's not many.
They bodied that.
Like with a lot of the music that has been dropped. Like it's quite a bit of music that dropped in the last couple of weeks that we have not recorded, and you can hear certain people are putting time in again. A lot of people are just doing whatever, but there's certain people, certain pockets of artists and groups of artists that are actually sitting with their music and improving it and doing some good shit. I like that. I
Gotcha.
like that.
Frank, man, come on, man.
I want it. I know I'm not probably never getting it. I'm never getting the music.
Have
But
hope.
I have-
hope.
he has squandered all hope with me.
That's not. Yo, he went through something. That's
Fair.
is very
Fair.
And
Fair.
yo, if you make
Fair.
music like him, you can go away for 20 years and
Oh,
come back.
100%.
It's you other losers who have to be more consistent. He can go,
But
and
that's
come
why
back.
I'm saying I'm hearing this now. I would not be surprised if I get the full album in 5 years.
And to be fair, he still released some music, and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
music
yeah.
that he did release, Dear April, Cayendo, those songs, absolutely genius.
100%.
Still, he's still him, yo. It's still Frank. He's not changed nothing.
Still
That's
a
my
fucking
thing.
vibe.
People leave for 5 years, come back and give me some garbage. That's what I don't like.
The thing about him is that he leaves for 5 years. He does the same thing but evolve. So it
Goodness.
feels good. It feels right. He doesn't do this exact. It's not the same shit he did before. It's not Blonde, but it sounds like an elevated version of the same. I don't know, bro.
A new Frank Ocean album will fucking crack the internet. I'm telling you. People underestimate it, especially since he's been away for that long. And he really does have a hive. He really does have like a hardcore
that
fan
shit.
base. So even though he's not as popular, maybe as, but he also, for someone who has that dedicated of a fan base, he's actually pretty big. If you think about people that are
Yeah, yeah.
that big,
Yeah.
mostly they have a more, or people that have that dedicated of a fan base, they're not that as popular as well. They're more like more underground or whatever. But he really
Yeah.
has that cult while still being a mainstream. People know
It's
him. He's a
wild.
mainstream artist.
Not many people can do that.
When he drops this shit, it's going to be Rolling Stone covers. It's going to be Billboard. People are going to talk about it. So it's not going to be a small release. If he drops,
Maybe
it's
that's
gonna
why.
be a big release.
Maybe that's why he's not trying to do that because he doesn't want it to be that big anymore. I don't know. maybe he's more cool with the low key thing. This man needs to work through some stuff by himself, and I can assume that the loss of family is just fucks you up in a different kind of way. So
But I mean,
I'm not mad
I'm
at-
praying for it, man.
Yeah.
Frank Ocean, that last album, all time greatest album. One of my all time favorite albums I've ever heard. Seriously, genius.